I'll be with you in a second. Read. As you've all probably noticed, there have been cardboard boxes behind me for months, and these cardboard boxes basically contained parts I'd ordered ages ago, and I am in the process of tidying up. I know it doesn't look like it, but I have achieved quite a bit of tidying up actually over the weekend and what have you. Although it doesn't look it in this area, I've got rid of tons of cardboard and stuff like that. It's all in the recycling bin. Anyway, one of those boxes, one of the big boxes behind me, had the airbox for the ZZR6, and this one looks like, I ended up repairing the other one because this is obviously the bit that bolts to the charber tinkles. This bit, this bit here, and as you can see, it has its own inbuilt sort of ridge, which, let me see if I remember rightly, I think that bolts onto another plate which sandwiches between the carbs and this airbox, or that might just sandwich to the carbs. I can't remember, but it's a notorious site for air leaks. The bike will feel like the idle circuit's not pulling properly, and then it will get to 3,000-4,000 RPM and go like a bastard. And it's an air leak around here, or it's between the plate and this. Take it all off. You'll see that it's warped slightly. You can't really straighten it. Just put some silicone seal around it a little bit, Hylamar, something like that. Sandwich it all together. I'll leave it overnight and it'll be fine. But I'm considering fixing this airbox onto Spurt because it looks in better nick. Because as you know, I had to completely rebuild Spurt's induction system because somebody at some point had tried to street fighter that bike, and ram air induction doesn't really, these don't like the ram air not working. They're not set up for it. So yes, that was that bit. Let's gently put this aside. Oh shit! No, it's fucking put it. Right, there we go. It's aside. One of the other parts was a side panel for Olive. I saw this one first. I've had this since as long as I've had Olive, and I bought this one first because I couldn't find a pair. So I bought this one first. It's in pretty damn good nick. So that's good. I've got a spare because the intention with Olive is that now I know I like the colour. You know, her side panels were covered in some ghastly sort of 3D silver carbon fibre looky likey, which I detest greatly. I just sprayed straight over the top of that just to test the colour, and it's ended up being permanent. So when the weather's a bit better, we're going to strip all that. Oh, burpees! We're going to strip all that off, and then we will paint onto the panel properly, and lacquer it properly and all that lot. That is a future plan. And anyway, the other bit, which I may unwrap, see if you can guess what it is. It is for Olive. Let's get a knife out because Jim is really safe with sharp things. This is before I understood what all the bodywork was on Olive. Is that I weren't too sure when I got her exactly what model it was, because that year went through a couple of model iterations. One was called a Strada, one was a Cube. Olive is a Cube. Then there was the Cube IE when it got fuelium injectionium. Olive is twin carb. I was just looking through the part schematics, And of course, ooh, I could crush a grape. When I was looking through the parts schematics, I mean, I was literally just going on eBay and putting in Aprilia Pegaso 650 bodywork or panels, and this came up, and I'm thinking, oh, I must need this. And this sits at the back above the mudguard, and it's basically like a rear duckbill. This is the first time I've even looked at it, and Olive doesn't have it. I'm not sure whether it's supposed to have it, whether it was another part or what, but it seems like the grab rack thing is actually sort of part of the rear bodywork on Olive, because these bits are where the side panels fit, and then your rack goes on there, and I haven't got this bit basically, so it might fit. It might spray up and fit and just give it a bit of a funky look. So I'm going to experiment with that later, but that is basically what's been in my boxes. So I've now completely filled up the recycling bin because I had a load of boxes with bits in upstairs, in my room. I've got them everywhere because I've had sort of a can't be arsed year, and I would say it's like a healing therapeutic year, and in many ways it has been, but this year it's going to be action stations. As soon as the money starts coming in again, it's going to be action stations, because I'm sort of at limbo at the minute. How can I put this without sounding like I'm pleading? Debts are still mounting because the money's not coming in at the minute, because we're only just starting work again. And you know, yeah, I could have sold this, I could have sold that, and all this lot, but it's sort of not the point of things. I get stuff when they're cheap, and they stay cheap. Basically, it's like the Rover Rosie. At some point later on in the year, I'll do another video, but her MOT is up in, I think, April, and the rear passenger sill and the beginning of the wheel arch, they've gone quite rotten, and I haven't had a proper inspection of it yet, but it looks quite bad. Now, as long as under the rear seat there's a structural bar tubing that goes, as long as that isn't rusted, it's okay to repair and stuff like that, but I've got to have a good look and see what's behind it and see how bad it is. But you can now get repair panels, of which I will attempt to put a picture up. Now, if you didn't see a picture, that's because I couldn't get one to download or anything like that. But there's a chap on eBay, I presume it's a chap, could be a lady, that does repair panels for the Rover 75, and you never used to be able to get them. You used to be able to get sill sections or complete sills and stuff like that. That's quite well known, and they're pretty good, fit well. But these are actually the corner of that sill is about that much of the corner, I'm guessing, and then the whole, pretty much the whole of the first half of the wheel arch, and then a bit. So because they are notorious for rotting round there. The problem with the 75 is the rear of the sills don't have a drain near the jacking point and all that lot. They hold water and they corrode from the inside, so we're going to have a look at it. So I should probably try and chop the bad metal out and then have a look, because Uncle Barnyard next door of course can weld, and I would like to teach myself to weld. He's got a stick welder, so I'm going to start with that, because the worst of it is I can only cock it up so far, you know, at the end of the day, but I haven't got any money to pay anybody to do repairs or anything like that. And I've had a few issues with people last year who probably thought I never noticed, but I had some work done on some things and they took the money quite happily. And what people, I mean, I don't suppose people don't know, if you've seen any of my videos servicing the bikes and stuff like that, you know that I mark all components, and I will generally date stamp something when the oil was changed or when an air filter or whatever. But I usually put a little identifying marker in it, and I make a note in the diary when it was done. And when I got this job back for some work, it had not been done, but they took the money, so I'm not very happy. I'm not very happy at all. So we won't go any further into that. But so I should try and do as much as I can myself this year, and we'll see how I get on. I like to do things myself because I know the job's done, but quite often I don't have the time to do stuff myself, or I probably haven't got that particular skill set. But anyway, I have been, what did I do last week? Oh, I went to work one day on, I've only just started working again. I've had about 5 weeks off, and it's got really tight. I mean, stupidly tight. I'm now behind on all my bills and stuff like that. Essential stuff's been paid, but you know, other bits. But we'll catch up eventually. That's the way it goes. Not losing sleep over it. I refuse to. So hopefully now we'll start earning, and it'll start to come good again. It's not that I'm particularly extravagant. I just like to live, you know. So I went work on spurt one day last week. I had a couple of days on cars, a couple of days on bikes, which was nice. I ran in last week the new Triumph Tiger Sport 660, and if you wouldn't have told me what engine capacity it was, I wouldn't have guessed, because it pulls like a train. Really comfortable, very comfortable. I had it from 0 miles, literally 0 miles, straight from the factory. So you're restricted to like 50 mile an hour for the first 100 miles, and then the RPMs will automatically adjust for you. But anyway, 230 odd miles to a tank if you're not spanking it. If you're keeping it below 80, you should get over 200 miles to a tank, which is brilliant. Very comfortable. Ergonomically, I'm 5'8". Ergonomically, it was spot on. Never got leg cramp, you know, never felt cramped up or stretched or anything like that. Gearbox lovely, brake great, really nice bike. Cruise control is standard on all that lot. Obviously they have to have ABS these days. It's got traction on it. Great bike, and they think they're about £9,000, which is good for a Triumph, but a lot of kit. You don't need a massive great big 1250 or something like that. This little it's not a little bike. This little thing will do anything you ask of it. Fantastic. So I really enjoyed my time on that, and I'm running in a press bike when I'm next on a bike, and I've got no idea what it is. So yeah, that'll do, and then I've got a bit more on the cars later in the week. So we shall see. So that's my little catch up, because obviously I've not put much out since Crimble time and what have you, because I ain't really done much. Oh yeah, I went on spurt one day, and then coming back, the headlight was awful. Reflects on the back of a car perfectly fine, and to look at the bike, the headlight's good, but it's actually illumination, it's piss poor. Honestly, it was like I may as well have had a bloke with a red flag walking in front of me. And I don't know if I put a brand new bulb in or just one that I found that worked, which is probably what I did. What I need to do when I can get to spurt is put a voltmeter on the light connector where it connects to the bulb while the bike's running, because it should be putting in sort of the same voltage that the rectifier's pushing out. It should be between 12 to 14. Voltage is directly related with luminosity of a bulb. If it's getting the correct voltage, it will illuminate correctly. Even just a 1 volt drop, that bulb can be useless. It will light up, but it won't be putting the power out. So I just need to check that connector that I have to buy off eBay is allowing the correct voltage to pass, or even that the correct voltage is even getting that far, and then we'll see. I'm suspecting it's probably an old bulb. Anyway, it's a good job I could follow a car back home because I couldn't see shit. Anyway, the next day I went on Olive. I think I'm going to go on Olive tomorrow, because if I'm testing a bike, if I go in on a bike, I've already got all my kit on. You don't need to faff about, and it's going to be dry. Well, it is round our way, so I don't have to take wet kit off, and you know, it can be a ball ache. So I'm going to go on Olive tomorrow. But I went on Olive. She ran fine, absolutely fine. I went to charge the battery just in case because it's not been used for a while, and the battery was full. That's a Moto bat that's on Olive, but I fitted the battery charge cable, and it literally was plugged in 20 seconds and it was full. But I've got it charging overnight now, so I know it's good for the morning. Neither of them, Spurt or Olive, like being stood. If they stand more than a week, they can take forever to start. Once they're running, they run fine all day. It's just they don't like being left, and I think half of it is it's this new fuel, this E10. Although I've got super unleaded in both of them, I just don't think new fuel has half the poke that it used to, because I could lay bikes up for months and literally just come out and go boom, and off they go. So anyway, that's another one. So that's what I've been up to. I hope you all had a good Christmas, New Year, and all this. What I think I've said that before, but I'll say it again. Phyllis, like I say, she's out of everything now, tax MOT insurance, and she can just stay as she is for now. There is no rush to get Phyllis back on the road, although I will at some point. Probably after me, probably in the spring, I'll get Phyllis back, because she should go straight through a mop. And then what I'm intending to do is, all the bikes are on separate policies, and I'm with the same insurer, or I will be with the same insurer for all of them. And I'm thinking again a multi-bike, and just seeing what that is. So we shall do that. So there's stuff happening. I intend to get the Mercedes back on the road this year, an exhaust, tidy some bodywork up. Fingers crossed that's all it needs. Probably tyres, I don't know, but we'll see. It's still very early in the year. Who knows what can happen, but we're hoping for a better year, really. And 90% of it's mental attitude, and I'm mental with an attitude. Anyway, ta-da. Let's press the button.
A few inches later.
Well, looks like the bin's gay now.